let's go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Seth Rudetsky. This is James Wesley. Welcome to Stars in the House, which is a show we do twice a day. We do it at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern. Then it remains at StarsInTheHouse.com.
Right.
We do it to bring the world together when we're also isolated. And we do it to raise money for the Actors Fund.
That's
What
right.
is the Actors Fund?
What is the Actors
I'll
Fund?
tell you what it is.
Okay,
Actually,
I found these. We got from the Actors Fund some great thank you notes that are really heartwarming. So
Yeah.
while I look for my
Right here, honey.
glasses, there we go. Literally came from my glasses. All right,
old person style.
Seth?
Anyway, I told him to get the horrible chain, but he said he hasn't graduated to that age yet. My point is, Actors Fund is an organization that helps out anybody in show business or in the arts, really, anybody in the arts.
Performing arts.
Whether on stage, behind the scenes, in front of the camera, whatever you do that is related somehow to the arts, you can get help from the Actors Fund, whether you're a voice teacher or a high school theater teacher or, you know, a camera operator or a script supervisor, a stage manager.
I mean, I'm from Dallas, so all of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's so many professional theaters there right now that aren't able to have audiences, and they're hurting. And so all of those people can go to the Actors Fund, and they do, for assistance. So there were a few, Seth, that
you go to actorsfund.org if you need
yes.
assistance. If you can donate, and we have a special, remind me, James, we have a,
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what?
you'll
Should I
have to
say?
add it
I'll
to
wait.
that.
We have a special way to donate tonight. Start at StarsInTheHouse.com. But read this letter from a
you
person
do
that's
that.
happy.
Yeah, because we're going to be sending, if you donate during the show, Charlene, we haven't told you this yet, we're going to text you some of the names and their amounts that they gave and where they're from. And Charlene is a fan of the show, so she knows the drill. So
yeah,
she
you
knows
still
what
get to
do.
read them.
So it'll be Charlene who does that tonight. So while you're doing that stuff, this is they're so heartwarming. It says, this is just a note to say thank you for the generosity of the Actors Fund to my family during this difficult time. Your organization is helping me pay my mortgage and feed my family.
Wow.
I am so grateful and do hope to pay this forward in better times. Your kindness will not be forgotten. Another person said, I don't know if you're secretly an angel or not, but I have to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this gift of financial assistance. Things have been very challenging and I've been pretty scared. This was a gift from upstairs to me. I can't thank you enough. So those,
It's really incredible. And just literally $5 is the minimum. If everyone donated $5, it would be amazing. The Actors Fund is doling out so much money right now. So anything you could donate really, really does help.
And it does add up. I would say the average donation is like $30 probably. And it has added up. How long have we been doing? This is show number 68. I feel
5.5 weeks.
It has raised $240,150 all for the Actors Fund.
All for the Actors Fund. So keep it coming tonight, you Dallas fans.
That's right.
I'm going to wait this. Well, should I say it now? Okay, I'll say it now.
Go ahead.
So here's the
do
deal.
it now.
When you donate, you're going to get a receipt from the Actors Fund saying thank you for donating. Forward that receipt to StarsInTheHouse2020@gmail.com. So forward the receipt from the Actors Fund going like, thank you for your donation. For the whole thing, StarsInTheHouse2020@gmail.com. Then we're going to make a list and we're going to send that list to Charlene and she's going to read it in full character.
Meaning what? A Texas accent?
You tell me. In a bikini as well.
Oh,
okay.
A certain red bathing suit.
Just saying. So start the donating and start the emailing.
Okay, well, here we go. So here's the deal. You know, we're all doing the best we can, and there was a certain cast member who hasn't quite signed on yet, but we're going to start the show because there are so many clips. Charlene said you got to go on YouTube and find some gag reels, and I did, and then it ended up going down this rabbit hole of finding all these incredible clips and me remembering all the great memories I have from the TV show Dallas.
Now you're going to give some insight, and this is so cool. The very first thing you're
showing.
Oh
my gosh, yeah. So one of the clips I found was the very, very beginning before the iconic opening credits to Dallas, and you know Dallas began as a 5-episode miniseries, which is you would never think that now.
Remember Roots? It was like along those lines.
Yeah,
like
and it was in April 1978. And so I found online the very opening, and it actually says the names of the shows that it replaces.
They're being preempted.
That are being preempted for the first episode of this miniseries, this CBS special event. And the two of the shows they mention are actually people who they starred people that were starring in the show that was about to replace it. Meaning The Man from Atlanta, starring Patrick Duffy, and I Dreamed of Jeannie with Larry Hagman. So Patrick and Larry were responsible for replacing the shows
with their own shows.
With their own shows. It was mind-boggling when I heard that. So Seth,
yes.
So we're going to attempt something because here's the deal. we can't show clips that are longer than 30 seconds, or else there's no one. I wanted to get this ready for the piano surprise.
Oh, they're gonna hear me.
They're gonna hear you. Okay,
that's not a surprise. It's that piano playing.
But anyway, we can't show clips that are longer than that because YouTube, basically, there isn't anyone at YouTube right now, and so everything is like by algorithms.
It just gets flagged and deleted.
It gets flagged, and we don't want to lose the feed or anything.
Yeah.
So we came up with a creative way here that you can get a taste of that very first episode, and you won't hear the whole iconic theme song, but you will hear.
You'll hear it on horrifically played on the piano. It's so inappropriate for piano.
I think it's actually really great.
It's literally like when you're in 6th grade and you're like, I want to play a theme song, and your teacher gives it to you. Anyway, whatever.
So we're gonna attempt this, but catch this. It's really pretty cool.
I Dream of Jeannie, The Man from Atlantis, and Rescue 8 will not be seen tonight in order that we may bring you the following special program.
All right, welcome to the Dallas reunion with Charlene Tilton.
Hi, everyone.
Steve Kanaly.
Hey, all right. Nice to see you.
Linda Gray.
Yay!
And Patrick Duffy. It's coming. There he is.
Oh, hey. Nice done.
Patrick,
Magic.
I love you.
Hey.
Hi, yay, you did it. Hi, everybody.
So everyone looks amazing.
I know. My gosh.
Wait,
I gotta put on my glasses.
Wait, are Charlene, Patrick, and Linda all in the exact same house but in different rooms? It all looks the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, like
And
the
Steve's
Ewings,
in
we
the
live
kitchen.
together.
I got locked in the bedroom.
Well, that's sort of Ray Krabs. That would happen to him. You know what I thought of when I was reading? First off, welcome. Thank you so much for coming together, and thank you, Charlene, for making this happen.
Thank you guys.
You've got a lot of fans out there. Just FYI,
Not
Ultimate
surprisingly.
Dallas is here. Just FYI, they're here.
They are.
They've been so supportive over the years.
Oh, that's nice. They love you guys.
So I was just thinking, the actress, when we were saying all the things that they do for people in times of crisis, who in the Ewing family would have given to the Actors Fund? Anyone?
Sue Ellen?
Ellen. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Donna Krebs.
You're right.
I think you all thought of yourself as nicer than maybe your characters were, but I appreciate underneath it all, you were very giving.
Well, what I was telling Seth is like, I was born in Dallas in 1969. And so growing up in Dallas was sort of like known for the place where Kennedy was killed, really. And, you drive by in downtown and there would be the X's that were on the street. And that's what, as a kid, I thought of as Dallas. And then this TV show came along called Dallas. And my grandfather worked for Dallas Transit, was a bus driver. And he would be in town and he would say, there's this TV show that's filming, James. And I was like 8 years old. And it turned out to be your show. And, sometimes I would watch it as a little kid and thinking, oh, if I see the bus in the background, I would maybe see him, the way that kids think.
But suddenly Dallas became known for something.
Exactly. Dallas became something known for something that was really amazing. And that was you guys and what you brought.
Yes. Sex, lust, greed, all those wonderful things.
We have a very, very important message from a viewer. Just so you know, Bobby Ewing, you are still hot.
Yay! Woo! Yes, he is. Uncle Bobby.
When was the last time you guys have seen each other?
Maybe a year ago.
A year ago or less.
We did that other thing, Time Life.
Yeah.
That's right. We did that
November,
life
maybe?
thing. I think
Yeah.
that was the last time we were all together in a room.
Well, spring last year, right? Spring, and when things were real like they used to be
Yeah.
in the old days.
You could reach out to somebody.
Yeah. You could run a bar.
One of the things I didn't realize until I did my research today was that Dallas, for those first 5 episodes, it wasn't number one yet.
Damn. Shoot. I'll give you the rundown. Nobody watched it the first time. It was opposite a Fred Astaire special. The next time it was up. 2 more times it was opposite, like a Holocaust thing, a big, huge special about Holocaust.
I remember that.
It's about the fourth one. I forget what it was, but the 5th time it aired, there was no competition, and it made top 20.
Wow.
And that sold the show.
Oh. Wow. And how much did you guys film, Patrick? How much did you film in Dallas versus you filmed in Culver City? Is that where you filmed?
MGM.
At MGM?
We did the 5.
Oh.
We did the first 5 completely in Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But there was no way to know. I mean, anyway, I wanted to, Charlene.
I have to interrupt.
Go ahead, Steve.
We did the first 5 completely in Texas in January and February of 1978. I said to Leonard Katzman, the producer, I said, have you ever been to Texas in the winter? It snows there. And you know what? They had the coldest January and February on record while we were
18 inches of snow.
And they had an ice storm.
I can't. The snow stories go on and on.
Yeah.
And your people are going in the pool and knees.
Charlene, did you have to be in a bathing suit when it was that cold?
I think we all did. And then my first one was up in the hayloft with Ray.
There
And I
you
was
go.
wearing these little tight jeans and a little tiny shirt. And I was just freezing. And
I did my best to keep you warm, honey.
yeah, well, you helped. That's for sure.
Well,
But wait
I
a
wanted
minute,
to-
guys.
Yeah, go ahead,
Did
Patrick.
the very first, I'm not sure the first house, Cloyce Box's house, did it have a pool?
No,
No.
I was just making noise.
No.
It had a covered riding arena.
First 5 episodes, we didn't have a swimming pool. It was only when we changed the South Fork Ranch location
That's right.
that we had a
Right.
swimming pool.
Wait a minute. You weren't at the because
So
I've
Charlene
been
was in
there.
a swimming suit. She was just showing off.
So when you filmed the first 5 episodes, it wasn't at the South Fork. It was at a different place.
Yeah, Frisco, Texas, Cloyce Box.
Cloyce
Wow.
boxes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you look at them, you'll see it's a totally different place.
Wow.
It was
And we
nice.
all had cottages. We had
It was a
separate
very-
cottages.
Southern colonial construction.
Yeah,
Wow.
pillared.
Go ahead, Seth. What were
I
you
was
going
gonna say,
to say?
did you all have to audition to get your roles, or was it one of those like the show was kind of created for you?
I auditioned.
I auditioned.
I auditioned. They know this story. I snuck into on the Warner Brothers lot to get into Barbara Miller, who was the casting director. I snuck in every day for 2 weeks to get to her office and beg them to please let me read for the character of Lucy. And they kept saying no. And finally they said, oh, come back tomorrow. And I did. And they wouldn't give me a script or anything to study. So I got there at lunchtime when I knew her and her assistant, Irene, were out. And I went through her desk, stole a script, went to Jeff Corey, my acting coach, worked with him on the script, and then went in at my appointed audition time, which was 5:00. And Leonard Katzman, our producer, and David Jacobs, and I went and auditioned.
How many did you have to test, or did you get it quickly?
Then I had to go to CBS in front of the network executives. Victoria Principal was there that day. Patrick, I think you might have even been in the room or something, but I don't know.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't audition. Leonard Katzman knew me because he was filming Logan's Run right next door to where I was doing Man from Atlantis. So I got called in to do Bobby. I never auditioned or anything. But I did audition with 3 different girls that were auditioning for the role of Pamela.
Oh.
I read with 3 different women in front of CBS executives to see who was going to play Pamela, to see who matched up with me playing Bobby. So that was the only time I actually met executives.
Wow.
Did you get any kind of approval on the cast?
Say again?
Did you get like casting approval?
Oh, for the girls that you were auditioning
No,
with.
I think what they looked for was the amount of drool coming out of the side of my mouth when the different women walked in.
Good to know.
Well, I thought that I would
Victoria
show
got it.
what was that, Patrick?
Victoria won it hands down. I was drooling out of both sides of my mouth.
No.
She got the job.
Well, I know one of the iconic moments in the show was the dining room scenes. So I thought it would be kind of fun to show one of the gag reels of it because, of course, every dining room scene should have it begin about paternity tests because that was a Dallas favorite. So I just thought I'd show this real quick. Hold on. Tell me what you think.
Then it isn't. That was Harv Smithfield on the phone. The court's called with the results of the tests. They were inconclusive. Both men have the same blood types.
Well, now, wait a minute. That means we won, Ned. Great. Now, Harv says that under the law, the baby is presumed to be the husband's until proven otherwise.
You haven't won yet, JR. The court's ordered new tests. More sophisticated ones.
God, what next?
Pee-pee samples.
Pee-pee?
I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it.
He said pee-pee samples. What was it like on the set? I mean, I think that's probably what all the fans want to know. It's like, what was a typical day?
Tell them, Linda.
It was great. It was long, but with great people. So that kind of balanced it out big time. But it should have been a sitcom. Hate to tell you, but it should have been because everybody was so.
I can't hear
funny.
Linda.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
That's sometimes that just happens where the people on screen can't always hear each other. So basically just nod and smile.
We can hear you, Linda.
We can hear you, Linda.
Basically, Charlene, Linda said it should have been a sitcom because there were so many laughs.
Yeah. And Larry and Patrick every day.
Patrick and Larry had us entertained.
All the time. So it wasn't very dramatic until the cameras started rolling and they said action. Then we had to be very serious. So, but they kept us laughing the entire time.
Well, it just so happens I have a clip to prove your point, Linda. Watch this.
I think we ought to plead no low contender to that whole thing.
Yeah.
JR, Cliff Barnes is here to see you.
Cliff Barnes?
Proves your point, Linda.
Got it. Perfect.
Would you guys do table reads before the beginning of each week?
No.
Did you know? But you would get the full script. Like, did you know what was happening with the other scenes? Where they only give you your scenes because it was so secretive. Like, would you get the full script?
Just one script at a time. That's all. You didn't know what's coming in the future. But next week, we were like an audience. We're waiting for that next episode. We want to know what happens to Ray or what happens to Sue Ellen. And you have to wait just like everybody else, and then they give you the script.
Wow.
Did you ever make any suggestions about plots that actually happened? That the writers took?
Very rarely. I made a lot of suggestions. Very few of them happened. I said, because we're in Texas, this is really, all these guys like to hunt and do stuff like that. In all the years that we did Dallas, we had one hunting episode, and it really didn't have anything to do with hunting at all.
Wow. Oh, man, that's unfortunate.
No, it's okay. I mean, it was just coincidental.
Well, I think we lost Patrick, but cross fingers that he comes back. He'll come back. You know what I was wondering, or I was thinking, I just realized because you guys were on location so long, that was unusual for a TV show, especially then. I would think that would have influenced, let's see if Patrick's coming back, influenced you guys getting closer. Am I wrong? Or is my wishful thinking on my part?
That was a bonding.
We were definitely, close. And Larry was as Patrick and Linda and Steve will tell you, there's Patrick, he'll tell you, Larry was our great leader and brought everybody together. And
he was the only Texan. I had never been to Texas before. And neither Patrick or Steve, right? Am I right?
Well, I had actually. I think the thing that Larry did the best was he was a cheerleader, and he realized that if we worked as a team and we all worked together, we could get a lot of press and we can be seen in a lot of places. And you really had to, as a cast, to make a show work and stay on the air, you had to do that. And so we all became very busy, in that area.
Did you all take like a really fun trip, a fun press trip together to like London or somewhere great?
Plenty of them.
Wow. Wow.
But
Good stuff.
it was the times are different. But today a show comes on and it doesn't get numbers on the first week. It's off.
Yeah.
So, they gave us a few chances and it was a slow climb. It was at the end of the second year that we did the Who Shot JR episode. And at that point, it was real scratchy. Maybe we're going to stay on, maybe or not.
Changed everything. Well, when you were on location, would you all like have dinner together, or would you be in the same hotel? Like, what kind of social life did you have with each other?
A little of everything, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is the biggest small town in America, they say. And, we would do things together, but we all generally had different residences, hotels, apartments, houses, whatever. Oh, one year, the second year, I think, I came and I didn't like the hotel that they had chosen because there's raccoons biting people. So I asked Larry, could I come over? And he says, yeah. And I came over and he had a big house and Patrick was his roommate at this point, and there was a room left. It was the pink room. And I said, I'll take that. If you got room, I want to come over here. So the three of us spent the summer sharing this house.
I remember that.
And it was a lot of fun. We really got to be very close friends then. And I remember Larry and Patrick came home from work on a day when I did not work. And they said, wait till you go to the set tomorrow. I said, well, what's up? He said, well, we're not going to tell you. And I get there. And the people that own the ranch have opened it to tourists. And now, besides the work that you're going to do, there's like 300 tourists, Dallas fans, God bless them, waiting there for your picture and autograph and so forth. And that became part of our new reality while we filmed in Dallas.
But were they able to watch while you were filming, or they?
Yes, they roped them off.
Yeah, they kept them at a distance, but they were there while we filmed, and they'd stand out there in the heat. And
were they charging them?
Yes. You didn't get your cut. They didn't get your cut.
I did not.
Well, I want to show this clip that I think is the specific one that Charlene said I needed to, and it has some foul language, but Charlene said it was okay. So we're going to show it right now. It has some of the women singing a certain song poolside. Hold on.
Oh. Stop it. Uh-oh. Pam, I'm so sorry. I know, baby. It would help if we sang that song that Grandma used to sing to us every night. Yeah. I love you as I never loved before. Since first you fucked me on the kitchen. You banged me till my little ass was pink. And then you sat me on the kitchen sink. You got down on your knees to my delight. And so we'll eat in the kitchen every night. Stop it!
Uh-oh.
It's fun to see Leonard.
Is that who that was?
Leonard, yeah, he was over there smiling and going, well, I can't do anything about it.
I remember though, Linda, do you remember that we did this because we had to do something to get back at the guys? The guys were always
we always had to get back at the guys.
Us women decided to get back at the guys for something.
Yeah.
Oh.
We take direction.
Well, I was saying, you talk about Larry Hagman. Did his mother, Mary Martin, ever come to the set?
Yes.
What was she like?
She was fabulous. I called her. She was my mother-in-law.
Aww.
So I would always just refer to her as my mother-in-law. And I loved it. She was an amazing woman. She was absolutely amazing. Great sense of humor. Wonder where Larry got that. And she was just great fun and loved life. She really just did love life. That was her thing.
I have a Mary Martin story that maybe you don't know that you'll probably appreciate. I was talking to Florence Henderson, and Florence Henderson debuted in a musical called Fanny. And it was right at the time that Mary Martin was starring in Peter Pan. It was a big hit. And Mary Martin sent a telegram to Florence Henderson on opening night wishing her luck. And it said, I hope your Fanny is as big as my Peter.
Great.
That's awesome. Seth, that's great. Seth, you'll like this.
That's really funny.
That is. Seth, one time when Cherish was just a little girl, we were at Larry's house in Malibu, and Mary was there. And Cherish was very much into Peter Pan and all. So she was sitting on Mary Martin's lap, and they were singing "I've Got a Crow" together. So they were going around going, "Arr, arr, arr." And I was saying to Cherish, "That's the real Peter Pan. That's the real Peter Pan." And finally, she just pulled me aside. She goes, "Mom, that's not the real Peter Pan. The real Peter Pan is a boy." But she got to sing all the Peter Pan songs on Mary Martin's lap. And I'm like, wow. I was like, that was incredible to me.
Oh, man.
Wow.
No cell phones to tape it. We didn't tape it either.
I know, before those days.
Oh, you had the memory.
Oh, wait, speaking of cell phones,
yeah.
Charlene, check your cell phone. I just sent you the first 10 donations, and we need you to read them in a full Dallas accent.
Oh, gosh. Well, Linda was the one who had the best accent. Let's see.
You can follow the next batch, Linda.
Woo, we got a lot of donations.
Wow.
Liz from Brooklyn, bless you, sweetheart, $50.
Whoa.
And
Thank
Evie
you.
from the Bronx, 25, thank you. David from Austin, give it up, Texas for 50, thank you. Mary from Massachusetts, 20, thank you. Gary from Los Angeles, $20, not to be confused with Gary Ewing. Let's see. Okay, Jamie from Los Angeles, 25. Christopher from Atlanta, $5. Thank you, Christopher. Gabriel from Atlanta, $5. Juliet from Southern California, $25. And Albert from Colorado, $25. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Seth and James, you guys are such a blessing, and honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Seth, look, I have your book.
I love that you have my book. That is so funny.
You remember I bought it and you signed it to me.
I think I just stamped it, but that's nice.
No, you signed it. You said, read it in Nashville. That was just moving to Nashville.
All right. Hey, we just got a comment, by the way, that, of course, everyone's wanting to know.
Yeah.
Where did right there. Jeff wants to know, of course, everyone wants to know, any plans for a reunion movie?
In these times, who can say what's possible?
That is true.
Well, that infuriated Patrick. He had to leave.
There he is.
Hey, Linda, what about this? Any plans to come to the UK to do another panto?
Another panto?
I would love to do another panto. Patrick did one. Linda did one, right?
I did one. Patrick did one. Yeah, I loved it. I had the best time.
But
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And when we were not used to the British sort of, that's historic for them. It's their tradition, and we were not quite used to it. So
not used to what aspect? The makeup?
Well, to many, well, they would yell at you from the audience. You know, they'd say, "Hey, Sue Ellen." And that was after a little bit of visit to the bar. So I was like, "Oh, okay." They warned me, but then they would sit there.
Linda saying,
"You can't." Oh, well,
Charlene, you'll watch it on YouTube, our YouTube channel afterward.
No, but I couldn't
watch it live on my phone.
All right.
I couldn't get used to it, and then they would just like talk in the audience at you, and yell my name after they'd been to the bar. So it was like sort of disarming. I didn't know what to do. Then I got used to it, and it was fine. A lot of work, great actors. I love the Brits, so I had a great time.
So I feel like we can't talk about Dallas without talking about Who Shot JR. So Steve, you were saying how the show really went up so much further after that episode, but I just realized that episode aired like in March, but was there like a writer's strike or an actor's strike, so your season didn't start?
Yes. There was about an 11-week Screen Actors Guild strike that occurred after that show aired. And, that's always a very, very difficult time when unions are, fighting for your rights. And a lot of people were out of work. The whole industry shut down, basically.
Right.
I remember walking the lines, over and over again to help. But I always knew that I had a show to go to.
Right.
There was going to be another season of Dallas. And that was pretty exciting to look forward to it. It started for us instead of in September, which we used to come to work in like September. It was horrible, very, very hot. We had a fall season. We went to work in November.
Wow.
I said, can't we do this every year?
But it just so happened that happened to be the longest hiatus between the last episode and the beginning of the next season. And yet that was the biggest cliffhanger in the history of TV. It just happened to coincide.
Here's what happened. The show got to be so popular that nobody watched the reruns. They all watched the first runs. And when the network realized that the reruns were not gaining audience, they said, well, let's just make more first runs. And so what happened was a little like today, what's common for a series, 12 shows, 15, 16, we did 30 or more a year. It was pretty much year-round work with a Christmas break and a break between seasons and 3 or 4 little breaks like that.
30 episodes is unheard of today.
Oh yeah,
that'll probably never happen
on that since or before, I don't think.
Right.
Didn't we do 32 one year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was constant work.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never thought of it as work. I thought I was a lucky guy. Going to have fun with my friends.
So when the whole Who Shot JR thing happened, now that it's been so many years, did any of you secretly know who did it? You just never admitted it till now.
Well, then
not secretly though. They took me into a phone booth, a recording booth, and they said, "Here's what you say." And I'm like, "Okay." So walked onto the set, filmed it, and I said in voiceover, if you see that show again, that episode, I'm not on camera, but I look at Kristen and I said, "Kristen, it was you who shot JR." So that was all done in voiceover. I was not on camera, but then they opened it up and we filmed that episode, I think, with just our producer, cameraman, sound guy, and Larry and Mary Crosby and myself. And that was it. And then we had to wait for a long, long time. So it was tricky to keep that secret. Yeah.
What's Patrick saying?
He's
Sorry?
saying sorry because his Wi-Fi is so bad. Patrick, you just keep being HOT, as they say. Don't worry about it. You don't have to say a word. They're loving you in the comments. Just keep it up.
That's true.
Jeez,
yeah.
Wait, so Linda, were people badgering you to find out who did it, and were you able to keep a secret?
Patrick.
Oh yeah, badgering all the time.
I can't hear her either.
It's a wonderful reunion. We're loving it. You guys,
we're loving it. Yeah, we can hear you, Linda.
Wait, so Linda, you were saying about people badgering you, and did you ever reveal it?
Oh no, never. They offered Larry. I think somebody offered him $250,000, and even the Queen Mom. The Queen asked. She said, "You can tell me, Larry."
The Queen Mom asked Larry Hagman who shot JR.
To reveal the secret. Mm-hmm. See? And he said, "Not even for you, Mom." Good guy.
Wait, why were they hanging out with the Queen Mom? They were at dinner?
Yeah, that's the other
They
story.
were bowling? Where were they?
Probably. I don't know. Probably in a bar. I have
I'm
no
guessing
idea.
the British royals probably loved Dallas, right? I mean, a lot of that intrigue.
They loved it. They really, really loved it. To this day, I think they're still that country. I think is our biggest fans.
We have to thank them over and over again for creating the whole thing. It was the British press that said,
Yes.
"Oh my gosh, they've shot JR. Who shot JR?" It was the British press that was responsible for that.
Wow.
Not kind of a gag or some kind of maneuver that we made. It was just the press.
Patrick had brought something up a while ago that never dawned on me, but I think it was when we were doing the 40th anniversary that Dallas was not only a huge hit in the United States, but it was all over the world simultaneously a huge hit in like 190 countries or something like that, because normally it'll roll out to this country, to that country,
right,
on a slow rollout. But we were everywhere all at the same time. And I mean, it really was mind-boggling. To be very honest, I was young. I didn't even at all get the impact of it until it was over and done with, until I was off the show. And I went, oh, now I get it. But yeah, we were so busy doing it at the time and working that, but Patrick brought that up to me, and it was like, I went, oh, that makes sense.
I mean, I think I read like at its 100 million people would watch it at the same time around the world. Yeah. I mean, that's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, easily.
Was it difficult to be out in public? Did you ever go to the mall or the hardware store?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You learn to have a kind of defensive barrier you build around yourself when you go into the public. You know, there's lots of things to be careful about. I want to address the other point. I was in South Africa, and they didn't have television of any kind. And even in Israel, television was very limited until Dallas was on the air there. It like turned their societies around. I mean, it was like this big view of America that nobody had ever seen before in Tel Aviv or in Johannesburg, and other countries were similar to that.
Wow.
Charlene, did you have to wear a wig when you went out, or some kind of crazy a mustache?
Yeah, just wear my mustache. Yeah. No, but you know what? When we were in Europe or whatever, I always have to have security. Absolutely.
Wow.
I always have to have security around.
How crazy! Weird. You were early 20s, right?
Yeah. 17 when I started the show.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I can't tell if Patrick's fixing me with a death stare or if his Wi-Fi is slow. But it's incredible focus.
Very focused.
You know what they are.
Well, yeah, we want to. Yeah, so Linda, if you knew, I was curious because the press, at least, was that to keep it a secret that everyone basically had to be filmed shooting JR, right? So explain. So here's just a few, and then maybe we can talk about it on the other side. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. You know what? I whispered to Seth. I whispered to him, such amazing acting from Jim Davis and Barbara Bel Geddes.
Oh.
Like, what was it like working with them? And you could just see it in Barbara's eyes. The acting was so incredible, and Jim Davis too. Can you guys talk about them?
I'll say a few words about Jim. Jim had a long, challenging career. He started when he was young. He started with a big movie with Betty. Help me here just a minute. I'll remember in just a minute. But and you know, his career went up and down a lot, and he had a personal tragedy in his life, and he had to deal with this, and he had health issues as a result of it. And so in his 70s, he gets his chance to play this patriarch in this show. Mm-hmm. And suddenly the show starts to catch on. He's working every week. He likes the role. Oh. And he's in London with his wife on a vacation. The first time he's ever been there. And he's standing out watching the changing of the guard. Hmm. And suddenly all the people start going, oh, look, it's Jock. It's Dallas. Look, it's Jock Ewing. And the guard comes up, oh, Mr. Ewing, sir, if you could please just step inside so we can go on with our business. And he came back and he told me this story. And he says, God damn it, Steve. I knew I'd finally made it when that happened. So it took a long time. He stayed in there, but he had a wonderful finish to his career.
Yeah,
he really did.
Seth, I'll tell you a Barbara Bel Geddes story that you'll love. It was in when we first were doing the miniseries. We were in this horrible hotel room. Horrible hotel. Her room was right across from me, and there was a chair and her bed. She was sitting in the chair. I was literally on the floor at her feet, just asking her to tell me stories about being in New York and the theater actress. And her phone rang. And I said, let me get it. So I answered the phone in this horrible, crappy hotel we were in. And I said, hello, Miss Belgetti's suite. And the voice said, well, may I speak to Barbara, please? And I say, whom may I say is calling? And the voice on the other end said, it's Tennessee. And I screamed. I went, ah. And I know, Seth. And I went, ah. She goes, what? Who is it? What's wrong? And I said, it's God. She goes, who? I go, it's God himself. It was Tennessee Williams calling her. Yeah.
There was a 1% chance it was Tennessee Ernie Ford, but I love
it. It was Tennessee Williams. She was the original Maggie on Cat. She was the original Maggie in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Incredible.
Yeah. So she said, talk to him. And I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm too shy. But so I got to talk to him for like 2 seconds.
Wow.
But she was such a class act, total class act. I remember one of my favorite films by Alfred Hitchcock. She was feeding, the police came over and her husband had died and they came to talk to her about his death. And she was feeding them lamb, a leg of lamb out of her oven. So what happened was that was the murder weapon. And this beautiful, innocent Barbara Bel Geddes had cooked the leg of lamb, which she had killed her husband with, and then brought it out as the police were interrogating her and served them the murder weapon for lunch. And I love that movie.
No evidence.
It's my dark side. And I thought, that is the coolest movie. And when she came onto the Alice, I thought, this is the classiest woman ever. Classy. And she sort of elevated this show to me.
Let me ask you something. Why, I didn't know about all those clips of them shooting JR. Why was that film? Was that just a publicity stunt or was it really to keep the cast?
No, to a distraction, a ruse to keep you off the track.
For you guys too?
To prevent anybody from finding out what actually did happen.
So the crew.
I knew it wasn't me because our director, Irving Moore, said, here, hold this gun and just say, take that and that and that, you schmuck. Because and Irving in his Jewish accent, you will love this, Seth. Tell me, you schmuck. I'm like, I knew it wasn't me because Lucy just would never say schmuck.
Take that, you schmuck.
What were you going to say, Linda? I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I shot him with a water pistol.
You knew it wasn't you.
You knew it wasn't you.
So it wasn't me. I knew that.
Hey, I want to remind everyone that's donating. Don't forget, forward your receipt from the Actors Fund to StarsInTheHouse 2020 at gmail.com. Forward it, and then we're going to have them read again by a little Dallas cast member, as we say. So forward those receipts.
That's right. So besides Who Shot JR, we also can't go without, except we just lost him. Hold on. This is like the return. Well, it's actually kind of appropriate because we can't do it without showing this scene. Talk about the craziest season. Any comments from anyone? Patrick?
Well, so the reality is this. What do you do with this whole season that does not have Bobby? How do you continue from there? Leonard and everybody else in production finally said the only way is to say that it was all just a bad dream and we can start fresh from there. We don't have any baggage left over from the previous season. And, there was a lot of hurt feelings on either side, but that's what happened and it worked. So
it was my favorite season. I got to get drunk and drink the booze with the bag lady, and I loved it.
Living on the street.
Oh, that was the season of the dream, right? That was the dream.
Yes, that was the dream, but not to me. It was my best acting.
That's
Hair and makeup, 20 minutes. I'm done. Loved it.
Oh my gosh. Let's see if there are any
Patrick's
comments
back.
here.
Patrick's back.
Patrick's back. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick's back.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, look, here we go.
See, every time he comes back, he gets this kind
Patrick,
of
you were
comment.
everyone's dream. Good looking, rich, and caring and sweet.
And Frozen.
And Frozen.
And Frozen, right.
Right.
He is frozen. What's happening?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, look at this right here, Linda. You were fantastic in UK soap Hollyoaks. Will you be returning?
I don't know. I go where I'm invited. And that's it. I loved it. We filmed in Liverpool.
Oh, we've been there. It's a little dark.
It's a little dark. That's where the Beatles were from. And so I loved going there. I loved the cast. I had such a good time. I was the very bad mother-in-law. I would come into Hollyoaks, cause chaos, and say, bye-bye, I'm going back to the States, darlings. And I loved it. And they brought me back 2 or 3 times. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the show, but I had the best time.
Aww.
I wanted, Charlene, you were talking about how you wait, what did you you said you stole something right at the beginning of the show. Oh yeah, you snuck into the casting.
Right.
Didn't you also steal like something with Barbara Streisand? You told me some years ago, some crazy, yeah, some caper that you pulled. Why don't you reveal it to the public?
Well, that was Patrick Duffy, actually. Barbara Streisand was on the MGM lot working on Yentl. And so I was always kind of aware. In the commissary, they would tell me where she was going to be sitting, and the hostess would. And so one day they told me that she was sitting in a certain place where I knew Patrick was going to be sitting at his lunch. And I said, Patrick, bring me her napkin or something. Just bring me Barbara Streisand's napkin. So right after lunch, Patrick and I had a scene. I'm in the room and Lucy's crying and Patrick is supposed to come in. Bobby's coming in to find Lucy and to comfort me or something.
Yeah.
And so we rehearse it. All right. And action. And all of a sudden I'm there and I'm crying. And all of a sudden he says, well, Lucy, I'm sorry, whatever, but maybe this will make you feel better. And I look up and I go, that's not the line. And he goes, no, here, really, look at this. Are you hungry? And he had brought me the tray of her half-eaten lunch. her can of tab, her plate of her lunch that was half-eaten. There was cottage cheese and squash or something on it. Her dishes, everything. Brought me all her lunch completely.
Oh, well, this is actually kind of perfect, Charlene, because
today is her birthday, dear. Wait, so what? Did you eat the lunch because you're such a super fan?
No, and Larry got mad. He wanted me to take it and get it professionally shellacked, and kept it. He did. But that's what Larry wanted me to do. I didn't do that, but I did keep the tab can in the plate for a long time.
I bet you did. Hey, everyone's asking about those wedding rings. Someone said, wait, where is it? The wedding rings on the show, those diamonds are obscene. Were those wedding rings real and were they guarded? What was the deal with them?
They were real.
Wow. Wow. Say
and
no
we
more?
had security all the time.
Keep up that illusion. That's right.
Yes, they were real.
Well,
I remember. I have a story about the rings.
Oh, good.
I remember when Candy Spelling and Aaron Spelling were going to start Dynasty. Candy looked at me at some function, Hollywood function, and she said, all I want is that Crystal has a ring bigger than yours. That's what she said. So those rings did draw a lot of attention.
There was so much, speaking of Dynasty, there was so much growing up in the 80s. There was so much attention, like Dynasty versus Dallas. There was almost like the media would play that up. What was the real story of your relationship? Or maybe you didn't because you were so busy working with the cast of Dallas and Dynasty.
That's my hit. Everybody was working. So they used to say that there was fighting going on and rivalry and all that. we were all on our sets working. So, but
Because
they're
they weren't on,
friends. Yeah.
they weren't on the same lot as you, were they?
No.
Yeah.
So
I would say that the genre caught on. That Dallas kind of was the first one of maybe imitating daytime soaps in America. But then there were other shows like Dynasty and Falcon Crest, and there was about a half a dozen of them that all sort of cashed in on this kind of popularity.
You know, it's interesting that, you know, you talked about Barbara Bel Geddes, because I remember even as a kid, because I knew her from the movies, that I thought she was the recognizable one for me. And I thought, oh, wow. Even as a kid, I knew that, oh, this is a classier show. You know what I mean? That it brought something to it.
It lifted it.
It really did lift it. It was amazing.
You know, Charlene, I sent you another list of generous donors.
Oh, good.
Take
You're
a look.
really good at this, Charlene.
Okay.
People are donating from everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Well, we have Christopher from Seattle. Thank you, Christopher, for $25. We have Ronnie from Ohio, $30. Thank you, Ronnie. Marshall from California, $25. Marcus from Rhode Island, $25. Michael from California, $18.
Hi.
Jonathan from Tennessee, go Tennessee,
Yeah.
$25. And Michael from Boston, $100. And Andrew all the way from New Zealand, $25.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Wow. The time difference, I think it's like 2 weeks later there. That's incredible.
I think so.
Charlene, so how old were you when you shot the first episode?
17.
You were 17. So this one of my favorite moments from the show was your relationship with, even though we lost Patrick here, his Wi-Fi I think is gone, was with you and Patrick Duffy with like Uncle Bobby. And this scene I thought was really, it kind of contains everything. This will be the last clip that we showed tonight. But it's the bathing suit, it's the pool, and it's to me the most important thing is your relationship with him, which I think is just really sweet, and it shows the heart of the show.
And what do you care what they think anyway? You're a big girl now. You can make up your own mind. You don't have to ask people for advice.
So you think I should try and get Mitch back?
And now you're asking me. You big dummy, do what you feel. Like I do. Like right now, I feel like throwing you in the pool!
Oh, Bobby, you're terrific. I love you.
Now,
Thank you.
wait a minute.
Thank you. You're the most terrific uncle anyone ever had.
I didn't tell you to do one thing or another.
Oh, yes, you did.
So sweet.
There was no take two on that, getting all that hair dry again. It was get that in one take for sure.
Well, Charlene, so, you know, I don't know if Linda and Steve know, but we met you because only a few years before that, you had been in foster care. You were so young.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was that like going from the childhood that you had right on to this set, and you were the youngest? And talk about that a little bit, or if you want, I mean, you can explain your background a little bit. But
it was surreal, and I just, you know, I don't know if Steve and Linda, but thank you for all the work that you continue to do with the foster care, and you guys have inspired me, Seth. I'm working here in Tennessee with with Child Protective Services, and I work with Camelot, and we did a Christmas party with a group called Love from Music City. Love from Music City. We did a huge party for 300 foster children and their parents, and we opened up this place. We made it like a store. They could come and pick out whatever they wanted, and it was in gifts. So we had like boys' clothes, girls' clothes, toys, backpack. We had everything. And then every child got a blanket, you know, because you know that foster kids, they carry everything in trash bags, which is what I did from home to home. And so they got their bags. We just give them everything. But that's thanks to you. I got so involved with Love from Music City here in Tennessee that I'm very involved working with them with the foster care system here in Nashville.
So it's called Love from Music City?
Love from Music City.
Oh, I love
they're
that.
Amazing. What they're doing with the foster care system here is amazing. Yeah.
That's great. So a lot of people don't know you were a former foster kid, and you were in our benefit for this organization that we help for older foster kids called YouGottaBelieve.org
here in New York.
And unlike other foster kids, you were very close to your mom. She had mental issues, and talk about the time that your mom was, let out of the hospital for a couple of days, and what the movie that you guys saw.
That was when I was 6 years old. We went, they let her out. They gave her like a one-day pass, and she took me, we went to see The Sound of Music. And that was just, I will never forget that. That was amazing to me. That just meant so much. And then my mom had to be institutionalized again, and then I didn't see her for another 3 years, but just watching The Sound of Music with her at that point was amazing. Yeah.
Well, we thought for a little special treat, we'd give you a little taste of The Sound of Music with the Broadway star. Here's the lovely Sierra Boggess to give you some memories. Hi, Sierra.
She has
you got to unmute
Sarah.
yourself,
There you
girl. Unmute.
There we go.
Hi, lady.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, beauty.
Oh, this is so special. What a special night.
Isn't this great? Sierra just starred. They did Andrew Lloyd Webber aired The Phantom of the Opera all around the world, and Sierra was just starring as Christine in that film version. But tonight she's Maria Von Trapp.
So should I sing?
Yes, ma'am. We got this karaoke track offline, and Sierra said it's busted. So just do your best, girl.
Well, I'm not going to do that whole beginning recitative part. We're just going to see what we got.
Go for it, girl.
All right.
I'll show me, so let them bring on all their problems. I'll do better than my best. I have confidence they'll put me to the test, but I'll make them see I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but kind, and all those children, heaven bless them, they will look up to me and mind me with each step. I am more certain everything will turn out fine. I have confidence the world can all be mine. They'll have to agree I have confidence in me. I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. I have confidence that spring will come again. Besides which you see, I have confidence in me. Strength doesn't lie in numbers. Strength doesn't lie in wealth. Strength lies in nights of peaceful slumbers. When you wake up, it's healthy. All I trust, I leave my heart to. All I trust becomes my own. I have confidence in confidence alone. Oh, help. I have confidence in confidence alone. Besides which you see, I have confidence in me.
Yes, Sierra.
Yay! Did you hear anything? I don't even know.
It sounded amazing.
Great.
Oh my God, you're amazing. So good to see you, sweetheart.
Good to see you too. This was so cool. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Sierra. You'll be back. This is like our fifth
Thank
year.
you.
Hi, girl.
How lovely.
So
Lovely
that was our
surprise.
way of saying thank you. Go ahead, Linda.
No, I just, it was what a lovely surprise. It's so beautiful.
We love our Charlene.
I love you. Seth, I want to hear more stories with you and Anna Gasteer.
Oh, isn't she hilarious?
The two of you, your stories, I could listen to that 24/7.
I'll tell you one story really quickly. I'll tell the story. So she was doing Funny Girl, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so intimidated because Barbara Streisand's so amazing, and I don't know if I can sing well." And I was like, Anna, you're amazing. She came over to my apartment. I had this beautiful balcony. I opened the door, let the breeze in. I said, let's go through the whole score. So she was really nervous at first. And we started, with, the slower songs. Who are you now? And then I know he's around. Went through the whole score. She was getting more and more confident. The breeze is coming in. Finally, she's like, I can do it. We finish it. And she's like, I'm the greatest star. She's all smiles. And we suddenly hear a neighbor go, will you please shut the window? It was devastating.
I'm crying. That's horrible. Oh my God.
We quote it to this day. We always talk about it.
Well, thank you all for coming and joining us today.
What fun. Thank you.
I love you guys.
Reboot Dallas. That's what we want next.
And tell Patrick we're sorry we lost him, but we're glad that he kept trying and that he was here for most of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure he would like to have been here for all of it, but he did try.
Yeah. All right.
I love that you guys are so close to each other. It's really nice seeing such a warm cast together.
Absolutely.
You have to remember when we did Dallas originally, the personal phones were a new thing. VCRs were a brand new invention. Cable television was a brand new idea. So this has been a long journey. Now we're sitting here doing this. This is very big in our lives now. We're like grown up.
Sweet.
I don't know about that. That's stretching it, Steve.
Yeah. I love you, Steve. I love you, Linda.
Yeah.
Love you right back.
Thank you, fellas, hosting the show. And
Bye. Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see everyone tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
Bye.